It's the Bloomburrow Early Access event in today's video. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're all having a magical day, and thank you for taking the time to support the channel. My name is Hello Good Game, pleased to be your host within this Magic the Gathering Arena Deck Guide video. It is Lizards! Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna reshoot this. Typically, when I say something stupid, I cut it out. But I just can't anymore. You guys get the bloopers in the videos. This could be interesting. We're going to break down this deck list, so I'll tell you what, in depth, discussing the strategies and synergies held within, providing you with a deeper understanding of how to pilot the deck, as it is in a new build, right? Lots of cards you may not have seen or be familiar with yet, helping you be effective within your play lines, okay? Demonstrating all of this literally within or against the best decks and players, specifically players' decks. Yes, obviously we're all perfect deck builders, but the players, it's all other content creators in this event. Invite only, the VIPs are out and about, if you will. So, the competition is quite stiff, and what an absolute honor. Thank you all so much for the matches. I truly appreciate it, and I hope you, the audience, enjoys as well. Of course, we'll wrap up with our concluding thoughts, channel news, and deck review. If you want to help out, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Drop a like. Leave a comment as well. That will help out quite a bit. Something meaningful. I know a lot of you are like, oh, for the algorithm. Maybe talk about Magic, and that would be better for the algorithm. If I can choose. And subscribe to the channel, obviously. New decks every day. But most importantly, kick back, relax, and enjoy. Let's go.
It's a new lap record.
Oh, Dokali. I'm a lizard. Shout outs to this scene from It's Always Sunny from Philadelphia when they go to the state fair and Ben gets his face painted like a frog. If you know, you know. Speaking of, though, I'd like to get my face painted as Gev Scaled Scorch. This new 2-mana powerhouse has 3 power and 2 toughness, ward, pay 2 life. Other creatures you control enter with an additional +1/+1 counter on them for each opponent who lost life this turn. So it is advantageous, obviously, to cast your creatures on your second main phase post-attack. However, whenever you cast a Lizard spell, Gev will deal 1 damage to target opponent, and that can get around it if you need to be casting on your first main phase. Yes, you silly goober. But sometimes you want to do that, right? Because we should talk about this. The Hired Claw is an example of where we would like to do this. A 1-mana 1/2. Whenever you attack with 1 or more lizards, the claw will deal 1 damage to target opponent, right? So this is something we want in play pre-combat, first main phase. On that note, we will also be utilizing the Valley Flamecaller, 3-mana, 3/3. If you're going to deal damage, deal that much damage +1 instead from all of our lizards, which is great as a 3/3. So, again, pre-combat. And then finally, the Fireglass Mentor, 2-mana, 2/1 at the beginning, so you won't get a chance to play this because it'll already need to be in play, right? As our other examples, first main phase creatures. If they lose life this turn, exile the top 2 cards of your library and choose one of them. Until the end of turn, you may play that card, which is, I don't know, pretty good. So that is cool. So, the Claw, the Mentor, as well as the Flamecaller, and, all things we probably want to play on our first main phase before we attack, right? Because they will influence our combat phase, okay? The Vinelasher is fantastic. 1-mana, 1/2 with Offspring for 2, so you can actually cast it as not only itself, but also now a 1/1 token copy of it, which is super helpful considering it has landfall. And whenever a land enters the battlefield, an opponent's going to lose 1 life, or we're going to deal 1 damage to them, I should say, which is really cool. So not only is this non-legendary that we can stack up, but now we can, cast it for 1. We can cast it for 3, which is really cool. Having 3 copies of them is fairly substantial. And, when we're using that in conjunction with, as the aforementioned Flamecaller, whenever a lizard is going to deal 1 damage, deal that much +1, right? So now each one of them is dealing 2 damage. Keep in mind this Flamecaller is also non-legendary and something that we can stack further accenting that. Okali Dokali Do. The Roaming Throne goes in the deck pretty well also. 4 mana, 4/4, Ward 2. When it enters the battlefield, choose creature type, Lizard, and it will be that type. And if a triggered ability of another creature you control will trigger, it's going to trigger an additional time, right? So these are the landfall triggers. These are the Hired Claw triggers, which is really cool. It's the exile and look at to play this turn triggers, which is quite nice. This is a passive modifier, doesn't trigger, unfortunately. That would be cool. The +1/+1 counters here, which is great. And then whenever you're casting spells, this is going to now deal more damage as well. Furthermore, it's a non-legendary that you can stack. Okay, so that's really cool within the deck. Then, you know, what might actually be the coolest card in the build, and probably a big reason why you're going to see so many Lizard decks, is the Flamecache Gecko. 2 mana, 2/2. When it enters, if an opponent lost life this turn, add 2 mana. And then you can pay 2 to discard a card and draw a card. It's like a Burning Tree Emissary, but better. It's not as mana restrictive, right? Burning Tree was double hybrid Gruul, basically forcing you into either red, green, or red and green. Sometimes Rakdos would play it, but now we get this, which is just straight up Rakdos. And not only does it regenerate that mana as a 2/2, but you can draw and discard with it, or discard and draw, which is just crazy good. So you can chain these together, right? Just dump your hand, the one pace for the next. It is so good. And, you know, whether you're playing another creature with that final cast, or maybe utilizing some removal alongside it, as, you know, we're dealing a lot of damage through just building our board state. But now if we can kind of double dip, open up our attack lanes and attack, you know, it's going to be a much easier time for us, as, you know, now we're not looking to deal 20 chip damage, right? We can maybe deal 10 and deal 10 damage through our attacks. And through supplementing that output, it really does, you know, lighten the workload as a whole, and you probably can stack up some more wins, yeah? So the removal to open up our attack lanes, get us in there, converting, cut down 3 copies of this, instant speed, 1 mana, destroying creature, total power and toughness 5 or less, triumph, 2 mana, instant speed, and an additional casting cost, pay 3 life or discard a card, destroying creature or planeswalker, and the Lockthwain scoring target creature for 2 at sorcery will get -3/-3, working in conjunction sometimes with our cut down, and we will gain 2 life. The Virtue for 7 will allow us to reanimate at the beginning of our upkeep from a graveyard, not just our own, which is quite nice. And then, you know, some additional card advantage within Laughing Jasper Flint. Quite good currently, considering how many people will be running Lizards, and we really want to stack up Lizards, which is nice. And, you know, general card advantage isn't terrible either. And you can even just melt your opponent's deck. It almost works as a mill card if it's in play long enough. As a 4/3, creatures you control but don't own are mercenaries in addition to their other types, and at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top X cards of an opponent's library, where X is the number of outlaws you control, which is our entire deck, believe it or not. The throne is not. That's it. And you may cast spells and pay mana as though it were any color to cast those spells, which is kind of crazy. So really good card advantage there. And then, you know, trying to punish what I believe to be an aggro meta through the Hearthborn Battler. Not really focusing on it. 3 mana, 2/3 haste. Whenever an opponent, or player, I should say, casts their second spell each turn, it's going to deal 2 damage to target opponent. This is, like, really good in a multiplayer game, but pretty decent here, because it's whenever a player and then target opponent. So you can, like, be redirecting it. We just like it's a 2/3 with haste, also a lizard, fits well within the deck, a little bit of extra damage output, but as you can see, we're only running 2 copies of it. It's not our main focus as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so the passages here, really good on the Vinelasher, right? Cavern on lizards, so we can't be countered, and then consistency through the springs. The Barons is double damage. right? With the Vinelasher, quite nice, similar to the Fable Passage, but doing it all together. And then the Rock Face Village can give one of our lizards +1 and haste until end of turn, which is pretty decent as well, right? And then some basics to help clean up. The deck is banging, having a lot of fun with it. It's hard to say that this is going to be the best deck, but it certainly looks like a top contender as far as I'm concerned, and really enjoyable to play. I hope you enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, become a YouTube member, join the community Discord, kick back, relax, and let's play some Magic. Oakley dokley, let's keep 7. It's always a pretty light curve, so. We really only need 2-3 lands, 4 at most. Maybe they'll let us have the damage. Blocking here's risky biscuits, so they do let it through. It's only 1 damage, right? I guess this would have been the same result. Let's take that out for sure. Take 2 damage. The assassin, a 1/3. I'm a lizard. 2 damage. 1 from the land, 1 from the lasher. We can still hit for 2. 1 drop. Land. We want to leave Gev in decks. Oh, it exiles them both. Hashtag never mind. Jasper in the house. I don't think we block. I'd rather keep the draw engine. We would do 2 damage. And then 4, I think. Can't do it. Because they get good advantage off Jasper, and which works really well in a mirror match. Typically, not great because like they're not lizards, but here you get those lizards, which is fantastic. Ooh, doubling down with the land on top. Nice. And that's why we maybe didn't want to overextend, right? Gotta deal damage to them. Attack with the throne, I think, yeah? So we have 2 damage. That's going to trigger both mentors. Really? Interesting. Have I played a land? Now we won't get a land. That's good. Oh, we get a land. Never punished. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's lethal for sure. Vinelasher OP. Gecko ready to hit with some removal as well. Oakley dokley. Let's keep 7, get after it. Paying life. I don't appreciate, but it's happening. Looks like we have lizards on the back end as well. Nice. Really good 2-drop. Can they combo into it? Oh. Oh. Wow, what an opener. Nice. That's their card advantage. I think I would take that. Not cool. $11 life. Man, it's not looking good. At least Jasper pulling their cards is beneficial here, right? Because they're running lizards as well. Just basically damage control, right? Kind of breaking as well. To double play would have been, you know, far more beneficial, but it's okay. I mean, it's a blocker. Good game. Very nice. Our opponent is up first. We've got 2 mana and probably one of the grossest openers I've ever seen. We need, well, not really. Ashley took that cake home for her and hers. If we had a 1-drop and then another 2-drop, we would be able to match that, but I don't know. Okay, the Dream's alive. We just need 2 mana. Well, technically we have removal, so it's still going to be pretty decent. What an opener. Crack that whip! That's his theme song. Which is crazy because I'm actually listening to that right now. Whip it. You must whip it. Play this deck with that song playing. You can't lose. I don't know. It's a hard one. What do I pick? I think the damage output, because there's already 1 engraved. Technically, that would be 2 of them dealt with. And I'm sure they have more than just the Alchemist to flood. Oh. Crack that whip. No attacks, unfortunately. More lands. That's why we took the Lasher, because it's A, a new card. And B, I think really probably like the engine. So as long as there's no graveyard recursion. I got a doppelgang. Whoa. So we get 3 damage here, right? Still no attack, though. It's 15. That 5/6 is blocking. Oh, who's a big boy? Yes, you are. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of jelly. Oh my gosh, so is that. The mill here could be good. A couple lands. Huh. I don't want to save this. I don't think I want to throw this. We would hit for 5. Not enough. Oh, I missed out on this. Oops. I could have put a counter there. I was thinking that was the draw discard card. My bad. We're just eating their deck away. Jasper's so good if it just sits there. We'll get it this time, though, right? We don't want to miss out on it too many times. They might still get us. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attacks. We had 3 through, which is 5, 6. 7 from the ability. It's close. Oh, it would be 8 from the ability. 9 from the ability. Oh, it is very close. This should get us there. I guess I just would need a land, right? I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't even. That's way too much damage. Because the throne doubles the flame color too. These are 3 apiece. Good game. It's not doubling the flame color, sorry, just the triggered. But the flame color itself is doubling the claw, right? So it gets like doubled on the front end and then doubled on the back end, which is fairly aggressive. I've actually not played a lot with Jasper, but it literally melted their deck, right? I didn't realize Assassin, Warlock, Rogue, Warlock, there's going to be Mercenary. This is already a Mercenary. I had no idea so much of the deck was Mercenary based when I was building it. I didn't expect to just be like eating 10 of their cards a turn. That's actually quite aggressive. Looking for a mulligan here, I think. Bitter land would be far beneficial. In on 1, probably gets dusted. Mono red. That's beautiful. Oh, it could be Gruul Expend. Looking for a green land, maybe. Raccoons. Still a decent mono red card, though, all in all. Oh. I guess let's grab a basic. Bully. We could take it out, but I think we'll just wait. The ward is nice. They should be able to pay for it. We do have a backup, but... still less than ideal. I have 4 mana. I can't do it. They would just probably remove 1 in combat, right? And then we'd lose both. I can't expose myself to that. Let's grab a red source here. Oh, now they remove the Vinelasher while it's out of, you know, on stack. No, they still take Gev. Okay. I guess just back out. We're low on life, which is not great. And then we hold up our emergency removal. Or I just take it now. Let's take the block out. It's 2 damage with the claw, and it, you know, is a little bit stronger now as well, right? So it's a better blocker. We get more damage in. I think relatively beneficial. We're not too far back. We need some life gain, right? Like a Virtue of Persistence would be really good here. Eight life only, though, right? Like, we're almost dead. Hopefully they don't have lethal. Down to 5. Now that is risky biscuits. It's not where you want to be against a red deck. Because what they might have used for removal now, they could probably just use to finish the game, maybe? Down to 2. 2 cards in hand. Do they have it? We dodge that damage. Still no land, eh? We would need 3 defenders. And without a 5th land, I can't do both. Ouch. That's unfortunate, right? We could be dead. We just need 1 or like 3 more turns. One or the other. Bro, is that your 3rd copy of that? Good game. I gotta check that, though. I'm not allowed to see their graveyard? That's aggressive. I'm pretty certain there's 3 copies of this, though. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm a lizard! Thank you so much, Wizards, for hosting yet another flawless early access event. Having a ton of fun playing with the new cards against other content creators. What I would love to see, you know, if you're looking for advice, how about an all-access event? When's the last time we've had one of those for the community? Why can't everyone try out the new set? Why is it just us? I don't want to sound ungrateful, because I am incredibly grateful. Thank you so much. Again, I appreciate it, and it's my pleasure to showcase this content to everyone. But I do think it would be really cool if everyone got to partake. Yeah? Leave a like if you think so too. As far as the deck, Mentor really performed well. I was worried about milling us, but let's just have it consistent. I'm going to leave the deck list as is, but when you run it yourself, thank you for the follow. Make sure to run 4 copies of this because it's absolute banging, you know. Maybe the Battler can go potentially in another removal or something. Maybe even just another roaming throne. That could be pretty decent. But, you know, I'm a lizard. Thank you so much for watching. Have a magical day. Like, comment, subscribe, become a YouTube member, join the community Discord, and I'll see you soon in the next.